Elsewhere in Colombia, President Gustavo Petro denounced a coup d'etat against his government and called on the country's social movements to mobilize in defense of popular sovereignty. The head of state's comments happened after the National Electoral Council accused him of having illegally financed his election campaign. In this regard, Petro assured that the accusations are unfounded and stressed that the electoral entity has been taken over by opposition forces with the support of the oligarchies that still hold positions of power in the country. In this sense, Petro condemned that the allegations endanger the government he represents and are an attack on the will of more than 11 million Colombians.
What happened today jeopardizes the institutionality I represent. I would like to deny the 5 main accusations the National Electoral Council, CNE, outside the law, has presented against me. 1. The alleged contributions of USO and FECOD were not to the campaign, but to the Humane Colombia Party, just as the contributors and entrepreneurs made to the Democratic Center Party in the campaign of Ivan Duque in 2018, and which this same organization, the CNE, absolved on October 28, 2021. 2. The alleged payments to electoral witnesses do not correspond to campaign expenses. The first presidential round was until the opening of the polls on May 29, 2022, and the presidential runoff election was until the opening of the polls on June 19, 2022. The counting of votes takes place after the elections are closed.
In this regard, the President of Colombia explained that it was the National Electoral Council itself which certified 30 days after the campaign the veracity of all the expenses submitted.
Expenses. 3. All campaign expenses for electoral propaganda had been reported in due time, and in accordance with the respective regulations. This was certified by the external audit hired by the CNE itself, which certified 30 days after the campaign all the accounts' veracity that we presented. 4. The CNE's members confuse and misinterpret the flight permits, which were not necessarily used by the campaign, with those flights actually made. All the invoices submitted by the campaign to the GEN correspond to the services rendered by the air transportation company SUDI, but they did not recognize them. 5. The event of our electoral triumph held on June 19 at the Movistar Arena after the ballots effectively had some expenses, only that this event was no longer part of the campaign period, as established by law.
In turn, the Colombian head of state assured that the National Electoral Council's allegations are unfounded, ensuring that the electoral power has been captured by the opposition.
The National Electoral Council's allegations are unfounded, and if my guarantees had been respected, the citizenry would know that my actions were not only fully honest, but that I am facing an administrative authority captured by the opposition, which seeks at all costs to cast doubt on my integrity. Therefore, we have requested the Investigation and Accusation Committee of the Chamber to make their file public, so that the citizenship may know the over 25 testimonial evidences, 34 documentaries and 3 judicial inspections that have been carried out. It is through evidence that I claim my innocence and censure the illegal and unconstitutional actions of the National Electoral Council. The independent audit hired by the National Electoral Council itself, Nexia International, a multinational of the highest and proven qualities, ruled on September 19 that the campaign accounts, along with its initial observations, were duly explained by the campaign's administrative team,